Volume 1 established the court. Roles were named, vessels launched, boundaries drawn. The architecture of governance was made visible, song by song. Volume 2 begins not with reinvention, but with continuity. The realm already stands. What follows is how an established order behaves when life continues. Adventures in this saga are not quests demanded by fate. They are events that arrive at a court the way weather arrives. Situations that occur because life continues and responsibility nonetheless remains. In many mythic systems, the adventure is departure. The hero leaves home, crosses a threshold, undergoes ordeal, and returns transformed. Volume 2 does not follow that machinery. The court is not a village to be abandoned. It is the center of gravity. Even when ships travel, movement is extension of governance rather than escape from it. Travel is procedural, not romantic. This distinction alters the moral temperature of the narrative. When adventures are framed as tests, stories tend towards celebration of conquest. When adventures are framed as governance, emphasis shifts to containment, the capacity to respond without escalation, to protect without glorifying force, and to restore ordinary life without converting it into anticipation of the next battle. The science fiction and fantasy imagery remains playful. Ships move between sea and stars. Fish planets exist. Ceremonial weapons are stuffed mice. Yet beneath this play is discipline. Power withdraws when its task is complete. Stability, not triumph, is the measure. Among the volume's recurring threads, the fish planet draws 4 songs. Empress Fiona departs alone and returns with a clownfish that becomes a court favorite. Later, Witchy Poo and Little Cat make the voyage together, escorted by Lily, observing without acquiring, until a threat on the return journey is cleared with a single shot. In actual courts, families, households, communities, most adventures are not chosen. They are interruptions, errands that lengthen into journeys, journeys that expose vulnerability. A court that governs well is not one that avoids events, but one that integrates them into continuity. The established roles are placed under motion and strain without being redefined. The Empress's presence remains baseline. The warrior prince's readiness remains boundary condition. The Royal Advisor's Council remains stabilizing influence. Motion does not dissolve structure. Volume 1 revealed what the court is. Volume 2 shows what the court does. How it travels, how it returns, how it maintains, how it absorbs surprise, how it protects its own, and how it restores stillness afterward. The universe does not owe the court a plot. Events occur. The court responds. When response requires force, it is brief and decisive, and then it ends. When response requires care, it is ordinary and sustained, and then it continues. And yet the court's most important story is not what it does well. It is what even a well-governed court cannot provide. Little Cat's range widened across the volume. The infrastructure proved itself each time, and her fear as knowledge kept reading the court accurately. A governing institution attracts opposition, and she needed a place that did not. she must leave. The must is not command, it is recognition. The court opens the door and blesses the departure. This is the little cat arc. It was not planned. It emerged from life because life had that shape. It turned out to be the main story of the first 2 volumes.